What's up, everyone? Dr. Laura Pence here with the YouTube series Understanding Your Greatest Self. If this is your first time here, welcome. This is not necessarily a video series that you have to watch in sequence, so if you're just popping in for the first time, super, I hope you get something out of it. We are in the month of March, and in March we're talking all about how does the past impact me in the present. It's like a super big topic because so much of how we operate today could have been seeded by things that have happened to us in the past. And I'm just trying to get through it in like a 4-week period, 2 episodes a week, so bear with me. But today, we're talking about family patterns, right? And identifying ways in which family patterns from our past are impacting us in the present. Now, I want to be real clear here that when I talk about family, I'm mainly talking about who you grew up with, right? And if you're out there and you were not raised by mom and dad, but you were raised by grandpa, or you were raised by aunt, or you were raised by, another individual, fine, like totally fine. I'm not necessarily talking about like biological parents here. Basically, I'm talking about the family structure in which you grew up, right? And one of the reasons why it's important for us to kind of tune into family patterns from our past that are impacting us in the present is because ways in which we were sort of informed about the world and informed about relationships, that's going to impact us in the present, right? I mean, the best example really that I can maybe think of is, let's say you grew up in a family where negative emotions or emotions that are painful and difficult, like anger or sadness or grief, weren't discussed or weren't even expressed, right? And so maybe like the family pattern becomes we ignored difficult emotions. Well, as an adult and as an individual that has now sort of grown up into our current society, I'd be super curious about whether or not that pattern is showing up for you in the present, right? Whether or not maybe when you're feeling grief, for example, you become overproductive at work. Or if you're feeling anger at a partner, you start drinking. Or if you are feeling sadness because you lost your job, you're over-exercising and not eating enough food, right? So it's important for us to tune in and check in about our past, and specifically about the family in which we were raised, and ask ourselves the question, what are the patterns that I learned then, and how are they showing up in the now? So your exercise of the week is this: to identify your family credo growing up, right? And a credo is basically like a manifesto. It's basically like a way of thinking. It's basically a way of being. Nowadays, I know like all over the place on Etsy and Target, they have those canvases that say like, in this family, we love, laugh, have fun, engage in adventure, like that kind of thing, right? I want you to go a little bit deeper than that though. And I want you to really think about like, what were the messages that I received as a child growing up, and how is that impacting me now in the present? So identifying your family credo and tuning in to how that impacts you in the present, okay? That's your exercise for the week. Now take time with this one, okay? This is not something that you can do in 2 minutes. It's something that you're gonna really have to tune into and just maybe put some thoughts down, put some words on a paper a little bit. If you have a sibling, I'd really encourage you, if you have a relationship with that sibling in which you feel like you could trust and engage in a conversation with them, ask them, like, what did they get from being raised in that family system in terms of the credo, in terms of the messages that were being sent to them, right? Now, how it's showing up for you in the present may be very different from how it's showing up for them in the present, but their idea of kind of those messages might be the same as yours. So go ahead and ask them, right? All right, so that's your exercise for the week. Tune in on Thursday, because on Thursday, we're gonna expand on this a little bit, but we're gonna really dive into family wounds, okay? That's a difficult topic, but it's a really, really important one. So again, exercise for the week, tune in on Thursday, making sure you're coming back here. Comment below, like, I wanna know what's going on over there on your side, right? Like, what are you getting out of these videos? What are you finding helpful? What else do you wanna know about? What else do you wanna learn about? Just comment below. Let me know how you're thinking, how you're feeling, all that kind of good stuff. I'll see you on Thursday. in on Thursday, right? Because on Thursday, we're kind of going to expand this a little bit. I forget what we're doing on Thursday. Okay. You ready?